You know the Olympics, when a tiny little guy walks up to the set of rings and he's just like, this is a tiny little dude, how is he athletic at all, right? He's just like a little skinny dude. And he jumps up and he grabs the rings and like every single muscle from the wrist down through his body just explodes and you see like everything rippling. Like that is what I'm talking about when I say optimize athleticism using Corrective Fitness. So starting with powerlifting, which is a good one to use, is one of my favorite examples because you don't think that you generally need any kind of corrective fitness, corrective exercise, mobility work for powerlifting because you're just trying to put as much weight as you can and one lift and a limited range, right? So you're like, oh, that's just strength. Like you don't need to work more beyond that. But the example I'm gonna give for improving, optimizing athleticism is there's a coach out of Berkeley who coaches women's powerlifting group where you have the women stand on yoga blocks for a deadlift. They come down there, grab the weight, start to stand up. As soon as they got to their knees, they went straight back down, right? They never fully stood up with the weight. And there's a reason for that. By working those in range positions under a lot of load for that coach, as he was trying to prove, they actually started winning a ton of championships in powerlifting because he realized optimizing those in ranges yielded a lot more results than working traditional way. And if you know what CrossFit is, there's a whole bunch of things around. They're throwing Dynamax balls and doing box jumps and they're walking on their hands and they're doing pull-ups. Well, they're the one sport they had to adapt to this kind of model. The problem is that it is flexibility. They do have good range of motion, right? But only in those positions. So as with powerlifting, we're referencing a range of motion done over and over and over and over and over in that like deadlift that I gave an example of. Just because in CrossFit, they do a ton of things like that in those ranges of motion, right? Going further down, maybe turning further back. They only ever do those same ones over and over. That means that if you look at a CrossFitter, every single time you look at a CrossFitter who CrossFits 3, 4, 5 times a week, they stand like this. Why is that? They teach good posture in the gym, so it's not that. It's that the muscles that they work overloading are right there. And that's stronger than the one on the backside. So by working corrective fitness model, pull your shoulders back more during certain movements, like let's say an overhead press or a handstand push-up, all those kinds of things. Learn how to use the backside of your shoulder and your shoulder blade. So there's only two things you're trying to do no matter what category you're in, to a different degree. How big can you get the muscle, right? How big, how beautiful, design, the look of it, and then how fast can you recover? And it's all they're optimizing for, right? They're constantly eating and recover faster, and they're just constantly working out to get bigger faster. Like that's in essence, that is what's happening in those two worlds. And there's a lot of thousands of categories of those two things, but that's in essence. Well, luckily with recovering faster, I already covered that in the last video. By opening up the fascia and the muscle, right? Even if the muscle's already torn from the previous workout, open it up, get that arterial capacity opened. Allow a lot more blood flow to go through. Now let's get into getting bigger, right? Getting beautiful muscles, getting that definition, building that volume. When you touch a muscle, your finger should go right all the way through to the bone. The muscle should just be so malleable and soft that it just moves out of the way, whatever pressure is pushing against it when you're at rest, right? If there is resistance, that is dysfunction. When you have muscles that can malleably move like that, right? Just spread out of the way and are soft and then contract instantly when you need them, like that gymnast. Again, I love using that example because you see it with your eyes. When they jump up on those rings, their muscles explode. That's the swell of blood. That's the volume, right? The blood volume swells that muscle where they need it. The muscle instantly expands to do the job that they need to do in that moment. So these are all connected. And if you ignore these things, you're gonna be fighting a very long uphill battle. Do not do that. This is hard enough as it is. Fitness is already hard. Don't make it hard on yourself. Learn how to use corrective fitness into your routines, your modalities, and when you do with our 12-week program, you'll see that they're already worked into the cycle. So go check it out. Please subscribe, follow along. If you're not on YouTube right now, you're watching the masterclass, you probably aren't hearing this, so don't subscribe. If you do subscribe, you have access to put onto our email list, and please do, so that way you can get access to this entire masterclass put together in long form with all the workouts, exercises, supplementation guides, diet, all the stuff that Alex and I have been coining the fitness armory, right? All the tools, all the weapons you need to win that battle, win that war. Follow along, and if you do have questions specifically about what I said here and you want that to be defined further, leave it in the comments and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. Thank you. If you need more information, we do have a resource page on the website, rxfit.co/resource. And just read that content. You'll get a lot more in-depth written content of what we're talking about here. Thank you. Have a good day.